Hey everybody, welcome to your Photoshop Creative Challenge. My name is Wade Acuff and I will be your host today. I have been your host for the past 2 weeks and it has been my pleasure and quite the adventure. But if you want more challenges, you will find a link in the description below that will get you to more challenges. There's also a link to our Discord where we'll give you feedback. If you have questions, you can ask questions. I'll be giving you feedback for the next few weeks. So it's not too late. You can get those challenges in there. What else? We don't have a starter file, but we do have a share for review file. And we're going to have to we have to backtrack a little bit and give a little bit of backstory here. So this is our Smacks lifestyle brand brochure. But if you're asking yourself, what is that? I have no idea what that. Well, on Monday, I talked a little bit about this. If you're familiar with Annika Agrawal's Branding Basics, she's been making a brand called Snacks on that stream. And a few weeks ago, she made me the official taste tester. And I was like blown away. I was floored. I was like, I was immediately struck with imposter syndrome. I was like, how? The responsibility was so much. I was like, I have to do something to show that I really do live that snack lifestyle. And I thought, why not make up a pitch for a lifestyle brand called Smacks, which is where we've got this brochure from. This is our lifestyle. It's completely just for fun, but that's where all this is coming from. It's a share for review that I have shared with you guys in Photoshop. It's a new-ish feature. If you press share with any file, you can share that for review. And it's as simple as pressing this button up here, making sure your links are available to everyone. Anyone can comment. And boy, have there been some comments, which is a good thing. And so you can update content. I haven't updated yet. Everything is right where it was. You can take a look. If you click on the link, let's see if I have this ready. If you click on the link in the description below, you'll find this, which is a way to comment and make suggestions. And you guys have really done that, which is great. That means we have something to talk about today. But if you also look at this in Photoshop, you can come over to Window and Comment. And you can pull up all the comments. It will show the annotations as well. And we're going to resolve some of these. But first, just a note about designing by committee. Designing by committee is generally not a good thing. And what design by committee means is like everybody's voice is at the same level and it's all coming in at the same time. And you get things like, well, my favorite color is pink, so you should make it pink. That's not a constructive feedback. Design by committee is generally not good, especially at the beginning of a project, because the designer, is being hired for your voice. Generally, I mean, this goes across other mediums as well, but you're being hired for what you bring to the table and the decisions that you're going to make. So you want to get started. You want to make sure you're putting your stamp on this, then seek the feedback. So you get at that point where you've made those decisions, you want to get fresh eyes on it, because some of those decisions may have been made in a sense where you're like, hey, I've made this decision, but now I have to move on to the next one. So you kind of get locked in to the way something looks. So you want to bring in fresh eyes, people that haven't seen it but know the context of the project, so that they can give you constructive feedback. And you generally want this to be trusted fellow designers or peers or colleagues, somebody that people that you know that have the project's best interest in mind. And that's where all of you guys come in. All of you that have commented know what we were going for and have provided some really good feedback. And we're going to start looking at those. I've made a bullet point list of everything of these comments, and we're just going to start picking away at them one by one, starting at the bottom, and we can resolve these. Andrew's first comment was, love the lighting. Don't know that there's anything I could do with that, but I'm going to go ahead and click this to resolve. and it goes away. You can always check out what was resolved by your filters. Let's go down here and say resolved, and you can look. You can also do this on the other page as well. So these, well, those that were resolved. And then you can just clear your list and go back to the original. All right, let's jump into my notes so that I can look at what we, okay, so first off, house shoes, to me, house shoes is just funny. Like some people may not know what a house shoe is, and I get that. And that's kind of where you want to start thinking about things like, well, it may be funny to me, but it may not make any sense to someone else. So slippers, which is this thing, I think I'm going to change this to slippers. So one of the notes was shoe is misspelled, which there were a couple of things that I sprinkled throughout so that there would be some comments. And there were other things that I didn't even think about, again, making decisions that I didn't reflect on later just because it was all locked in. But you guys made some really great comments about those things. So shoe is misspelled. I'm going to rename this. There's a couple of things about this area that I want to address. So can't read this at all. Each subscriber gets a standard issue, Smacks hoodie, and house shoes. Well, let's go ahead and start resolving that. There was other issues with type. We're going to get to all of that as well. You get house shoes? Yes. Well, we're going to rename them. Oh, there were suggestions too, like, let's see, like terry cloth slippers and, bespoke this and that. And those are really great. But I think for this brand, let's bring it down a notch. We're going for things that's a little bit more, I would say, quirky than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and select this, and I want to say Smacks hoodie, and we could just say slippers, or the brand would feel like something like a made-up word, like fluffity. Maybe we'll add fluffity slippers. Fluffity slippers. I don't know. But that's what the brand lifestyle, that brand calls, kind of generates those things that are a little bit goofy. But we can't see this. And my take on this, so I'm just going to add a layer here. I think we just kind of need to highlight this area anyway. So I'm going to use my marquee tool, draw around this area, and then jump into a gradient. Let's see, what do we have for our gradient? I want to make this a white, I think. Okay. And then we'll try this. A lot of things are going to get adjusted here. So if it's not working, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Did not try to put that in the wrong place. Okay. We don't need our brushes. I'm going to hide that so you can see this a little bit better. Drop this down. There we go. Still too much, but we still have it selected. Oh, I want it above the house shoes, I think. Yeah. It's going to be too much. I'm also going to change some of this. I want to just say something like subscriber. What, hotel slippers? Yeah. Wait, fluffy isn't a word? It probably is somewhere. It is now anyway. Subscribers get a standard issue. Let's get rid of standard. We get a official. Let's say official. Official Smacks hoodie and fluffy slippers. Okay, cool. I don't really like the font, but we'll address the fonts later. So the next comment, let's go ahead and resolve that one. Scooting all the way down. Shoes is misspelled. No reason for that anymore because we eliminated that. Let's see. This one says, okay, says I'm here for those stylish house shoes. Good one. Thank you, Carol. Resolved. Let's see. Get rid of that. tweak contrast. Yes, we're going to address the contrast. In fact, let's do that right now. Keep text legible. All right, so this is going to incorporate quite a few things. I'm going to mix up the fonts as well because I found a few things that I thought worked a little bit better. So for the body copy, we're going to address some things. Where is the body copy? Oh, I think, is it? Here, I'll switch this to auto select, and then that'll find it for me. Okay. If this were organized, it'd probably be right here. There we go. All right, and I'm going to just change this font to... keeping the same font, I'm changing it to book, and then changing this to white. For now, I think that works for now. Let's see. You know what? We need to go ahead and address this issue. So I'm going to do a wraparound type. Let's see. And I'm just going to copy our type. I'm going to select, double select this, double click the layer, Control C to select. And I'm going, it's just copied to the clipboard. I'm hiding that for now. And I'm going to come over here and grab our shape tool. And let's drag a guide out. I want to put a guide out because I think that's where all our type is going to be, somewhere in here. And I want to make sure shape tool is selected, and I'm just going to drag this out. It's hard to see, but we've got a little shape here. And when you do that, you can then choose your type tool. And you'll notice that when I do that, that the type tool turns from, has a little circle around it, which means you can now type inside the shape. But before I do that, back to the pen tool, back to the shape. Let's see, I think direct selection. Yeah, now I want to make these corners sharp and then jump back to the pen tool. And I'm going to add a couple of points here, anchor points, back to our direct selection tool by hitting Shift A, grabbing this corner. Hello? Grab this corner, pull it up. Let's see. Go over here to our convert anchor point. Pull this out. Nope, sorry. Back to direct select. Maybe bring this bring this over, something like that. And you can mess with this. I mean, obviously you're not going to be doing this, but just to let you know that you can add as many points as you'd like, make this kind of work a little bit better than it is here. I'm going to say that's good for our purposes. Then you can come over to your type tool and press, and it gives us our lorem ipsum, but I'm going to paste in the type for our body copy. So there was another suggestion on this where I think Marcia said to separate, and we'll resolve these as we go, but to separate separate these out so that they have the multiple paragraphs, just to give you a little break. And I think I'm going to bring that type down. Oh, that's actually not too bad, but let's try 15. There we go. All right, what else? Let's go ahead and say that we've addressed that. So Frank, thank you so much. That part of the type is more legible. Robert says difficult to read. I agree. We're resolving that. Sean says love the bites. Now this was another comment. Yes, Marini, I think, is the font. You know what? We can go ahead and make some of those other changes because I did change those as well. I think I put this, just Chew and BU to a, nope. Yes, that one also was Let's go down. There we go. And then not bold, but book. And I believe I changed the color for that to this. And I believe I changed the color for this back to white. Okay, so we're starting to get somewhere. We're starting to move along here. Where were we? So keep legible. Okay, yes, legibility. I wanted to bring up the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, WCAG, and just mention that over on, let's go back to on Adobe Color, we have you have the way to check these. In fact, we were using this color. We'll check the color we were using, this one, against our background, original background color, and you can just grab that here. Let's see, jump back over Adobe Color, and we will check that color here, enter, and then let me grab the other one, which was this background. I should have left that up. Control C. And then bop back over there and check that out just to see what our rating is. And I already know it's not great. It's not great. So, not good at all. So that's another thing to address. Let's see, was that really how far apart they were? So that was a good comment. By multiple people made that comment. Multiple people said, hey, that's, you know, that's not great. But you can also then use this to adjust, and you can change your level, still failing at that level. I don't remember it being that bad, but I guess it was. You can apply the contrast, change that. But in our case, we just changed this to white, and it works a lot better. In fact, I believe I even took this to white as well. Yes, okay. So contrast should be taken care of. We can go and resolve that. Let's see. Oh yeah, so keep the byte. Now there was a comment about keeping the byte here and losing the byte here. I normally would totally agree that this probably, just for simplicity's sake, lose this part of the byte. But for some reason, this doesn't seem defined enough or byte-ish enough. So I did still want to keep this, and that's just the personal preference. And obviously it could be cleaned up. It could be a little more refined. Because without that, I wasn't sure if that would read as a byte over here if it didn't have a byte over there. That's just one of those things. Leave the byte. See, reposition, slippers. I think we've taken care of that a little bit. We may bump these up. Let's go. Annika has text color needs to be contrast. Yes, we did it for smacks. Then we have, let's see what we got here. Like the color choices. Thank you, Jacqueline. All right. We can move the slippers slightly up, I do think, and we'll rename these slippers. Can I grab this as a group? Switch that over to group, and hello. Oh, it's locked. So maybe we can bump this up just slightly. I'm good with that. Somewhere in there. None of these, this is not going to be perfect by the time we get done with this, but just to let you know. Is there an easier way to do text wrap around the slipper? Easier way than creating the, in Photoshop, probably not. There might be. I don't know that there's an automated way. But I am not sure about an automated way. Okay, so then we had where are the donuts, Jack? We got you covered. We got you covered. So we're gonna bring in a new Smacks hoodie, and let's see what was wrong with that. Okay, I'm gonna grab this one. Control C. Oh no! Hey, no! Wasn't trying to merge layers. Photoshop, what are you doing? Thank you. Control C. And we're going to paste this in here. And then make that a smart object. Hide the, well, we'll leave the old one up for now. Scale this down. And I think I want to actually make it a little bit smaller, just to give us a little bit more background peeking through. So I'm going to bring this in and give us a little bit more background. Just slightly. All right, boom. So now we've got donuts. Move that one. Oh, I do want to keep this drop shadow, so I'm just going to copy it by holding down Alt or Option and dragging up to the next layer. So now we have our drop shadow back. What else do we want to do here? So let me resolve that. Boop, boop, boop. We have donuts. Boom, that's right, donuts for Jack. Wonder why there's one. It's a tri-monthly. So this was a copy issue, and you can see here if I select it, it will highlight in blue. I tried to point at the screen. You can't see me pointing at the screen. So it highlights it in blue. And yes, good find, Paula. We've got. I'm gonna go ahead and resolve that because we're about to change that right now. So I wrote tri-monthly subscription. You'll live the comfort food life you've always dreamed of each month. Well, each month is not tri-monthly. So we have to make a change. And we can't call this a snack box or a smacks box. I think that's really kind of, I don't want this to be another box service. You don't know what you're going to get. It's just going to be revolved around the lifestyle. So I decided to write in, let's see what we get, with every, and we may have to adjust other things, with every official, maybe we don't have to say official because we've already used that, with every smackage package, there we go, you'll receive snacking guide, snacking gear, and a snack that outright smacks. So we're calling this a smackage package. I don't know if that's a tongue twister or not, but it's fun. Okay, so let's go ahead and address that. I think that's Paula did say these were some memorable slogans. Well, thank you, Paula. I believe that's resolved. Marcia said not going to comment. Marcia made lots of comments, which was awesome. Annika made a comment. And you can also reply to these. I think I replied to most of them. And then we've got Tim coming in here with a little hard to read. I think we fixed most of that. Let's see. Patrick, here's another comment. Thank you for your comment. Umacorn coming in here with, why not keep the blue box? Yes, the blue box. This was one of those like definite, like your first comment. First, somebody's gonna comment immediately on this, right? It took a while. But you got there. You got there for sure. Let's resolve that. Tyler Pate saying everything should be centered. You know what? Maybe, perchance, mayhaps. Let's call that one resolved. Thank you, Tyler. We appreciate it. Marcia went off. We've addressed some of these. Some of these I want to address right now. I'm going to go ahead and bring our smacks over and down. And I think, let me hide this real quick so we lose our annotations. I'm going to bring this down to holding down Shift. And when you do this, you still have all your font options available. I mean, we are very loosey-goosey on this, but just to let you know, you're not really being destructive by scaling with the transform tool unless you skew it or scale unproportionately. That's when it becomes an issue. So I'm just going to bring this down as well. can bring this over and down just a bit. And I kind of want this to line up with this. Close enough. And you could turn snapping on, but sometimes snapping depends on the font, how it snaps. So just be careful, be aware of that. We're probably going to adjust this again because we've got a couple of more things. Oh man, we are way out of time. Wow. Okay, so what did we miss here? Let's see. Dark blue banner. We'll move up. I think we got all of Marsha's. The other thing I wanted to add, so there's some wording suggestions. So other things we were thinking about is moving chomp chew up to here, losing just chew and bu. I don't know how I feel about that. Another thing to do, well, we don't have time. I was going to add a white border around the whole thing, scale all the text down, but that's going to do it for us. Thanks everybody for hanging out for these 2 weeks. Thanks for listening to me rant and rave about the share for review, and stick around for Tyler Pate and the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge. Thanks everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.